Today is a celebration, my friends. As you're watching this, I am officially 5 years out from my VSG bariatric surgery. Yay! So I've collected some of my most important and favorite non-scale victories to share with you in the hopes that this video is joyful for you to watch and somewhat inspiring if you're going through the weight loss surgery process yourself. And if you're not and just nosy, you're welcome here too. And if this is the type of content you like, if you are a bariatric beauty or you're here for the Disney content, I hope you will subscribe. We do have Disney content. I know I've been promising you that. It's not next week, but the week after. So Disney content is coming and it's going to be epic. We've had a lot of weight loss surgery content. I know there's a reason for it and we'll get to that later in this video. Today I will be your host. I'm Chelsea. As I mentioned, I am a VSG patient myself. I'm also a bariatric support coach and it's been 5 years, July of 2019 since my surgery, and I've managed to maintain a weight loss of almost 100 pounds. I want to show you what real life looks like after surgery without being on a diet and without restriction. So welcome and let's get going. I tried heatless curls last night. Seemed like this side took better than this side, but it's also so hot. There's no air conditioning in this room, so the hair is gonna grow. That's just the truth. We all know that the scale itself can be a bit of an emotional roller coaster, right? But there's a misconception that this is the only metric that's important after surgery. False. There's so much more to celebrate than just the numbers, and arguably, I believe that what we celebrate off the scale is actually more important. First up, let's talk about the obvious one, your physical health improvements. So for me, my number one in this category about health improvement is my increased energy. There weren't any medications that I was on formerly because of my health that I needed to come off of. Though, in working with clients and students, I know that those are huge non-scale victories. One of my students just came off her CPAP machine. That's incredible. Prior to surgery, my energy levels were so dependent on my caffeine intake based on my addiction to Diet Coke, and I did a video on my addictions recently. I will make sure that that's linked here. But I used to be fatigued by literally walking up a flight of stairs. I couldn't walk as far as I wanted to when we went on vacation, especially in places like Disney. I found myself in that afternoon slump and I had a really hard time bouncing back. My energy levels now are 100% natural. They're all mine. I wake up with the sun. I go to bed naturally. My circadian rhythm has kind of reset itself back to what I think is the natural origin. So my energy has just been so much better than I ever could have imagined, which leads us into kind of like a parallel health improvement, and that's better sleep for me. I've never been what I would consider like an easy or a great sleeper. I think that's probably because of my anxiety, but I tended to have pre-surgery a really hard time falling asleep, a super hard time staying asleep. I couldn't go back when I would wake up, and then I was really lethargic in the morning. Not to say that this has been 100% cured, but it's definitely improved. And part of that is because I'm not tossing and turning as much as I used to. My hips, my lower back, my ankles would hurt. They would be really tight in the morning when I woke up, and that's because of the mass that was my body. Now I don't wake up in pain any longer, and I think because of the less pain, I'm able to sleep longer through the night, and that helps my energy levels. So it's all connected. And there's like an asterisk category here too. I want to say that my joint pain is better. My inflammation in my body is better. I used to get psoriasis every single year, and that's caused through inflammation. And I used to get it primarily on my elbows. And I actually had a dermatologist once tell me, because I'm 100% Portuguese, that I could go to a tanning bed to get rid of the psoriasis. And that worked, but it felt like very strange advice coming from a dermatologist. Since surgery, I haven't had any psoriatic flare-ups in terms of my skin. However, I do have osteoarthritis in my left knee. Now, there's two sides of this coin. One side is, because of weight loss surgery, I started running. We're going to get to physical movement later, but I started running. Running agitated my knee, my osteoarthritis, and caused me to tear my meniscus for a second time. Okay, so this side is weight loss surgery caused knee injury. Now let's look at the other side. And this was actually brought to me in the comments by you, because I was really blaming my weight loss surgery for my new knee pain, my fresh new knee pain, which has actually been a bit better. This side says, well, Chelsea, if you were 100 plus pounds heavier, your knee would actually be in worse condition. Which side of the coin are you on? I'm choosing to look at it as the running benefited more than just my physical body. And I got to accomplish a goal to run the Falmouth Road Race that I'd wanted to do my entire life because of weight loss surgery. So I'll take the knee pain knowing it was going to be there anyway. I'll take the knee pain considering I think it's better now than it would have been if I hadn't had surgery and I would have had 5 years of extra weight because I always gained weight every single year. I hope that makes sense. This is the new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Big Lip Plumpgasm in fair medium. I understand why people love this so much. It gives such a nice tingle without hurting the lips. Also, can we just have a moment for these faux pearl earrings? How cute are these? I'm going to insert also, these came from Amazon. I'm going to insert a little picture of the company. I believe it's called Serendipity, and they sent my daughter a 9th birthday present, which doesn't happen until October, but it's a little pearl. So I'll put a picture of that here, and I will also link them down below. The next category of improvement is mental and emotional well-being. To say that I am more confident now is maybe the biggest understatement of my lifetime. Now, I've always been a confident girl. I used my intelligence as a defense mechanism for being fat. So I always had pride in how smart I was or am as a person. I studied really hard. I took academics super seriously. And that was to put myself at a level with the smart kids despite my body. I know, how crazy does that sound, but it might be relatable to you too. So I always had confidence in my ability to succeed, except when it came to my physical being, to a diet, to a routine of working out. I simply could not do that on my own, and I needed weight loss surgery as a tool to help me do that. Now, because of my physical changes, yes, of course there's boosted confidence, but it's more than that. It's knowing that 5 years later, I promised myself I would use this tool to actually work and be my last effort, and I did it. I'm doing it. I'm comfy in my skin. Even when she's Lucy, I'm comfortable with my body. I no longer compare myself to others when I walk into a space. I know that my worth isn't driven by the number on my pant size or a number on the scale. It's so much more than that, and that was one of the biggest takeaways, that type of mental freedom. I would also say that because of my gained self-worth and confidence, my mood is generally better too. And I get the boost of extra endorphins because of my movement. So overall, my mood has improved. I think I'm more patient now. I'm no longer on an antidepressant. So I think all of that is contributed as pretty big non-scale victories. I also learned to set goals for myself and reward myself without that reward being food once I achieved it. I've always been the type of person that loves goals. So when I set them and then I meet them, I don't take or didn't take any time to celebrate that victory. I would simply level up to what's the next thing. And I didn't ever believe myself successful until I reached the top of whatever that goal was. I have a very different approach now, and that causes me to be happier and look forward to the journey of achieving my goals rather than just the goal itself. And it's about celebrating like every single small step along the way. If I am getting 1% better at something, even if I'm terrible at it, I consider that a victory. I try things that I wouldn't have tried before to do because I was worried that my body would cause me to fail, or I'd be embarrassed because of course I'll fail, I'm fat. I'm going to use hot yoga as an example. I would never have gone to the class that I go to routinely now in my 2-piece matching sets from Yvette that I love so much because honestly, I am not a very flexible person. So many of the poses I have to adapt or amend because of my knee. I now know that this is okay. That's kind of the whole point of a yoga practice, but I would never do this prior to surgery because I would worry that the reason I couldn't do the flexible things was because of my weight rather than because of my mobility in general. And if I wasn't getting better every single time, I would consider that a failure. Now I simply look forward to my classes because I know it's such a great detox and it makes me feel good. If I get better at one thing, I'm psyched. So that shift has been huge for my overall happiness. And if that's something that you want too, if you want to be happy post-op with your body at any size, and I truly mean that, I'm not the smallest that I've been since surgery. I will include a picture here of me in Disney World about a year out of surgery. I was teeny at this point because this was like the absolute pinnacle of how my weight loss surgery success was operating. 5 years later, I did not expect myself to maintain that body size. So I've reached what I call my happyostasis at like a medium, a size 6, sometimes an 8, depending on the brand. I'm happy here. I'm still working on losing some of the loose skin weight. But I'm also happy along the journey rather than saying to myself, I'll only be happy when I reach and then insert your number. If that's relatable to you and you would like to see a mindset shift so that you too can feel successful after weight loss surgery forever, right now, my digital course, Mindset Mastery, is open for enrollment. This is my second launch of Mindset Mastery, and I think it's bigger and better than ever. I still have a few free masterclasses left this week where I'm talking about binge eating and why mindset is important. But if you're looking to simply enroll because you want to get to the work as fast as possible, I'll give you some details about it and then I'll go back to my list. So Mindset Mastery is a digital course with 4 modules. Each module inside has video lessons and support PDFs to help you get to this transformation. There are 2 tracks for Mindset Mastery. One is independent study, where you can do this course on your own time. It's super flexible and you have lifetime access to all of the material. The other track includes me. I'm calling it my VI Pixie Dust, and it includes all of the same things as the independent study, but you also get 4 live coaching sessions that are workshops, bonus content, Q&As, etc., where you and I get to be on camera together. So I will leave the details. I have a page that has all of the breakdown for Mindset Mastery. I will leave that page down below for you. I hope you'll check it out. And if you have any questions about the course or the master classes, that one's free. The course is not, but it's still way more cost effective than one-on-one coaching. If you're interested, I will leave that information here and please ask questions. So if you're going through the material and you're like, Chelsea, I don't really understand this, let me know. I always respond to my comments. Let's talk about the lifestyle improvements. Okay, so this one's a bit controversial. It depends on what kind of girly you are, but getting a wardrobe, and yes, this one's costly, getting a wardrobe, purchasing a wardrobe with pieces that I chose because I love them and I'm building my new aesthetic is so much fun for me. Like, The idea that what I wear gets to be a projection of who I feel like I am inside, this meshing, life changing. Pre-surgery Chels loved clothes and fashion. And I honestly consumed more fashion content then than I do now because I think I was living vicariously through it. Everything I bought had to fit me and had to fit me in a way that I felt like hid parts of my skin. So the clothing I owned was out of like protection or necessity, not out of joy. And now going into stores and finding my size on the rack and not having to order like the extended plus sizes online or only shop at size inclusive stores has just made me feel like I have a better sense of belonging to the community of the world. And I know that that is a very sad statement, that in order to feel like I belong in the world of fashion or consumerism, that I have to be below a certain size is a sad state of affairs, but it's the truth. At least it's my truth. Wearing clothes that I want to wear is also a confidence booster. It makes me so happy to plan outfits for the day, an event, upcoming Disneyland vacations. Stay tuned, be subscribed. So yeah, that's a big one and a really fun one in my opinion. Despite my knee injury, one of my lifestyle enhancements is also my increased mobility. And I mentioned this kind of at the top of the video, but when we go on vacation, I can walk forever when we're in Disney. I can play with Callie down on the floor. Yesterday we were playing restaurant in her bedroom and she put down like the little poof where she keeps her books at night, and that was my table. So I had to sit crisscross applesauce before the table in order to order. I was able to do that. I can do things like when we pull up to a dock on the boat, I can get on it. Or when we pull up to the beach, I can shift from the boat to the beach. I would not have been able to do that, or I would have been very worried about how I would do that prior to surgery. So my mobility and the duration for which I can move, for how long I can move, has increased exponentially. And with increased mobility also comes the ability to cross my legs. Now, I love crossing my legs because it is such a non-scale victory for me. And it's one I can remember to do every single day to remind myself of how far I've come. But with my arthritis in my left knee, my orthopedic surgeon said no leg crossing. It's a real bummer. That one's a real bummer. And the last one I want to touch on are my healthier habits. And yes, sure, I mean that with protein. I mean that with my friend hydration. But what I really mean by healthier habits are wellness healthier habits. That includes movement. And it's movement I like to do. I'm waking up naturally and could be staying in bed for up to 90 minutes longer than I am before I actually have to get up. But I'm choosing to get up to go work out outside with my weights and do a low impact HIIT class or do hot yoga. I'm getting up before the sun to go to hot yoga. I like to move my body. I don't like when my body hurts, and I'm not trying to move it for 3 hours a day to punish it anymore, but I like to move my body, and that's how I choose to move it. I no longer do movement that I don't like to do, that doesn't bring me joy. And I think that increases my overall wellness too. I love my sauna blanket. I like meditating. Like every part of my well-being has leveled up as a non-scale victory after surgery. I really believe that these are like the true markers of your progress and your success post-op. And I hope that this plea to you to celebrate each and every one sticks. What are your rewards that you're putting into place when you are experiencing a non-scale victory or meeting a goal that you've set for yourself? I have set such outlandish, outrageous goals for myself since surgery because my confidence has soared, and I think, yeah, why not? Let's set that goal. All of these victories, they add up to a happier and healthier you. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. I feel like this is a video that's a bit of a party for me because you're the only place where I really celebrate my surgiversaries because you get it. And sometimes the people in my life don't. My sister does, but she doesn't love celebrating things. So I think because we're friends, you'll get this and you'll understand why I'm so excited. And I really hope to see you inside one of my master classes or Mindset Mastery. Honestly, that's like such a gift for me, is to be able to meet you virtually. So I will leave all of the information for those down below. But again, the mindset transformation, if you are looking to make that happen before the end of this year, since we are more than halfway through 2024, this is the course. This is the course for you. I think it's reasonably priced. I know the content works. I have a blueprint. It's good. It's good. I would love it if you would share your own non-scale victories in the comments below, or if we have any in common. I think that would be so fun to talk about. I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my bariatric journey. I literally wouldn't be making these videos without you. So thank you. This is such a positive experience for me, and I hope for you too. I will see you here next week with a little bit of like mamahood, my Taylor Swift friends. Stay tuned, it's coming. Goodbye, beauties.